Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today we are making a sweet potato lentil curry. Today's ingredients for the curry include some chicken broth, this time I'm using store-bought, coconut milk, curry powder, an onion, sweet potato, about 2 carrots. I wanted to use up these mini carrots I had in the fridge, ginger and garlic, and of course, lentils. These lentils were gifted to us by the people who are doing our farming on a crop share basis now. They grow brown lentils. How cool is that? I wanted to make sure to show you that my onions are starting to grow from the inside out. They're still good to use, but it's a reminder that it's getting to be that time of year where I need to use up or do something different with my produce as it ages. You want to make sure that you rinse your lentils. They have their lentils cleaned pretty good, but there's always dust and other things on them. There's the onions, garlic, that's some part of my wet curry powder. The sweet potato and the carrots are diced up, the lentils, and I put some parsley in for good measure. I put some canola oil in the pot and I tested it out to make sure it was ready with a piece of onion. Sure enough, hear that sizzle. I browned the onions in the pot. You want to make sure not to burn them or they get this awful flavor. I then added my garlic and my wet curry, which includes some ingredients that you'll see later, including the ginger. I break that up and I want to get that ginger and garlic cooking in there and some of the flavors coming out of the curry. I added the curry powder. At this point, it is starting to smell delicious. I added everything else into the pot except the coconut milk. It comes later. Gave everything a good stir to combine it, just to make sure that the curry touched everything before I added the broth. So cool when you add the broth and that steams like that. I just love it. Again, I give everything a good stir. I put the lid on, and after 30 minutes of simmering, I added the coconut milk. I turned the heat off of the pot, gave everybody a good stir. Now at this point, my husband said that he didn't really want the soup to be whizzed up by a blender, so I decided that I'd only blend up about half of it. Be really careful. You can see it splashing. It is super hot. An immersion blender is really good for this rather than trying to put hot soup into a regular blender. Kablooey, done that before. Just want to show you that there are still some pieces and chunks in the soup. I added some homemade sourdough croutons to the soup for a little bit of texture. I think that this soup would go well with some rice or bread. Thanks for watching, everybody. And here is what I did to make my curry. Because when I went to the drawer, I had an empty curry powder jar. So I had ground pepper, turmeric, cinnamon, coriander, cumin, and dried basil. And in my mortar pestle, I had star anise, whole cloves, mustard seed, caraway seed for that licorice flavor, red chili flakes, and I added the ginger. Adding the ginger was a bit of a oops because I could have ground all my dry ingredients and then put them into the jar, but I couldn't do that after I'd added the ginger to the mortar pestle. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care.